Good afternoon, friends, and welcome. I'll be sharing live trades and results with you. We'll be evaluating how well these trades work out. We'll be benchmarking this against the S&P 500. I'm expecting to be outperforming it every month. Along the way, I'll also be sharing some lessons I've learned about investments, trading, and building wealth. And of course, the mandatory disclaimer. This is for educational and entertainment purposes only. It should not be interpreted as advice. And with that, let's get into it. Welcome to 2025. I'm going to recap the beginning of 2025. I did not do individual trades, but let's just say this shot of Niagara Falls sort of summarizes last year's trading. Just a bleeding out of some hopefully good trades and bad trades, and we just needed a new way forward. So 2025 is off and running. I did not do individual trades, but here's sort of what happened. There's been a handful of trades. I'm just going to show them to you on a chart. As you know, as we make trades, those get marked, and then we'll head over to the tracking sheet and what this actually means in terms of percents and losses. So you can see in the beginning of the year, we had some winning trades that really help us out a lot. We were taking winning trades all the way through here, right around till the peak at February 19th. And it's been very interesting. From there, it seems like it's been kind of a Niagara Falls flow. Here's the main falls of Niagara Falls. It sort of reminds me of what's been happening here in the market. From here, we took a huge loss down. This was really painful. However, along the way from there, we started to make little gains. We took a loss here, but a gain here. And this one turned out to be a bit of a gain too. I know it's got a little mark here, but you'll see the number of shares, I think, is about 80 or so there compared to the shares that we're trading, which is about 3,000. Really didn't make much of a difference. All in all, even on the way down, we didn't do too badly. Let's head over to a tracking sheet and I'll summarize how we've done. Well, for 2025, we've had about 16 trades so far. As you can see from the beginning, which our first trade closed on the 3rd of January, it ended up being a good trade. The market went down. We picked up a little uptick. This is definitely a good beat the market factor right out of the gate. Second trade, we took a much bigger loss, and you can see our beat the market factor adjusting there. But we basically have about 60% winning trades throughout. That big drop you can see, captured in here. This is almost an 11% loss just in 3 trades in less than, a handful of days. That's a pretty bad drop. We didn't like that at all. The market was falling a little bit during that time too. So we were trying to scalp a little bit of the idea of when the market's falling, try and be out of it, but buy back in, during the drops, and hopefully things tend to work out. As of 4/11 of 2025, you can see where we are. The market's down 11%. Not so great. Oddly enough, we're up 2.38. This is where we really appreciate some good trading because we're making money in a falling market. It's incredibly difficult to do. Adam has been on this year. He's been doing very well. As the market's been falling through this section, this is from about February 19th or so, the market's just been sort of, in a free fall here. We've been mixed, winning and losing trades and coming out okay. So what do our metrics look like? Well, our winning trades is at 59%. That's not too bad. We expect to be around 70. But our beat the market factor, since the market buy and hold is down about 11, and we're actually up just over 2. Beat the market factor is about 6.7. That's really good. I don't expect that to play out the rest of the year. Maybe it will. Who knows? We'll have to see. I added one more metric in here because I think this is the most important one, and this is why I continue to trade. A buy and hold strategy for the times we've been, tracking this here from 2021. This is something called a compounding annual growth rate. And the market's compounding annual growth rate is 13.7%. Obviously in 2020, it would have brought it way down. There were some issues in 2018. For the past 10 years, I think this is closer to 10%. But for this particular time period, that is not counting this year. That's the compounded annual growth rate. It's super. It's great. Our trading compounding annual growth rate is close to 20%. It's 19.74. And you might say, well, that's only about 6% difference. But 6% compounded annually, I will tell you, is life changing. If that's something you can achieve on a regular basis, which and this is even including last year, which was a pretty bad year for me. In the last 4 years, having a compounding annual growth rate of about 20%, 6% better than the market is pretty strong. This year, you can see, we're showing a positive return. The market's way down. I don't want to add that compounding growth rate in yet for this year, just because there's not enough data points. It's an annual number. But if this holds out, this will end up being kind of an interesting year too. So anyway, that's the recap. It takes us into the beginning of the second quarter for 2025. It brings us to the 11th of April. And I may start showing some live trades again. I probably will, especially if it's going well. It's hard. Last year was kind of tough. When the trades aren't going so well, it's really hard to keep showing them. But I thought it was important to do a recap for last year and at least kind of bring everybody up to date on where we are as of the beginning of 2025. So let's see what happens on our next trades. That's it for today. How do you think we're doing? Please comment below and let me know how this compares to other investments you've seen. This is for entertainment and educational purposes only and should not be taken or interpreted as advice. Until next time.